and Grand Rise Kings and Queens. On today's special episode here on the Brother Ill Morning Show, as we'll call this particular uh, special program, we're going to focus on some mental health and family development material. And so we'll get right into it. And this material, I had a, like, okay, so what led me to this thought of sharing this thought is being the head of my family. Um, my son's getting ready for school. He's prepping for all that, getting ready to get out the door. And we got some things going on before school. So you got, you know, home duties and responsibilities and rights. You have that carries on into your external parts of your day with the schools or other institutions that we're engaged in some kind of obligation, a contract. When you got to go to school, you play sports, so you got academics and athletics, and you got to hit every one of those agreements from those terms and conditions that you agreed to. You got to hit every one of those benchmarks, and then you got your personal life, right? Which is like your girlfriends, your friends, whether they are your homies or your girl or whatever girls, and so you got that personal relationship and obligations that generates from that personal relationship. You you're responsible. You have an obligation to your friend, your homie, and now you got an obligation to your girlfriend. She has an obligation to you. That's a contract. That's a lot of obligations. And so I had to let my son know, communicate with him every day. But it's kind of hard to communicate with him, have to sit down meeting with him with his schedule, right? It's like he had school at you got to hear about 6:30. He don't get back home till about 7:30. Um, and then now he's prepping for the next day, trying to get his rest. We kind of cut out, him having to come home to do homework. Like, what are you talking about? You get out of school at 2:20. You go to practice at 4 o'clock. So from 2:20 to 3:50, you need to be in a classroom with a tutor, and you need to be doing your work. That way, you're not coming home to do the work um, at 9:30 ish, 8 o'clock ish. No, it's time to eat. It's time to shower, eat, meditate, wind down, share your story with the family around the round table, and get ready to go dream. Those dreams is what's keeping the engine going, right? Um, and then you rested. You got your rest in there. You got proper rest, and it should be some kind of rest in that day. Actually, it should be some kind of formula for a nap, right? Um, but unfortunately, I don't think people are thinking like that. They're not thinking like this. I can tell you that now. They're just not thinking like this. Um, rest is important. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's more so parent side because there's a part where a parent can come in and kind of take care of that. But however, so that you know 9:30, 9:45 ish, cuz should be night lights out, TV off, phone down, and boom. So that's 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 8. It's 9. It's 8 hours. Right? You got good 8 hours rest. You back up about 4:45. That 15 minutes to brush your teeth, wash your face, grab you a smoothie. Because I'm gonna be up. The smoothie and stuff all should be already ready if I'm up, and it's already up. It's already going. So you're just grabbing. We hit the gym. We go get the sauna. Go get the stretching. Do all our aerobics. Get 1,000 made baskets. We back on the road. We showering from there. We back on the road. We head up at the school. We there at 6:30 ish. You know, it'd be a great world if we can get on the gun in the morning. But again, that's a different subject matter. Um, but it's like We got homecoming. That's all last week, led up to the weekend. So I asked my son, I said, "Well, hey, how many shots you got up Thursday?" Not many. Well, I know you ain't getting none up Friday, Saturday. Why you didn't take advantage of Sunday? That's where what I mean. That's where we come in at. That's where dads come in at. What happened to Sunday? I woke you up, said let's get some shots up, but I'm not about to you know um come back in there like I didn't say it the first time. Like you didn't hear me the first time. I'm not doing that. I'm working on a project that's going to generate millions and millions of dollars, and I'm working on many of those projects. Not just you, son. We know you a billionaire, but again, that's predicated on if you're going to remain focused and put the work in, because you putting the work in and that work being visible is the reason why your potential stock can be at 1.5 million by in 8 months from now, right? To me, is at 1.5 million because that's how much I have invested. Not to add time and all of that stuff, because I actually had to develop my product and develop my. I'm actually a developer, and I specialize in developments. That's the reality. I had to develop businesses. I had to develop my family. I had to develop the mentality for the family, the right mental attitude for the family, right? Because my wife wasn't taught how to respond, right? Like I had to build that emotional intelligence up because she's been traumatized and brutalized and everything else in the adolescence, right? So that adolescence was pretty rough. So people as adult, it impacts and affects them as adult when they're triggered and even when they're not triggered. So and then children, you got to develop them with the right concepts, the right reasoning. You got to develop the reasoning ability. You got to challenge them. And we've been doing a great job at using sports to really take them through that rites of passage. Because to me, not just to me, the fact is the game presents just about every adversity that they're going to face and all of the elements to produce solutions for life. And so it's a great, work through process, developmental tool that you can use to build character, to build the right character. Um, and that's important when they get to like my son, 16 years old. This is the turning stage for just about every um, young adult, young teenage adults around 15, 16. Maybe the girls a little bit earlier. Their consciousness like they're smarter than men naturally, so they consciousness light probably kick on a little faster. But for boys, I got two of them. I got a few of them. I got 21, 16, 5, right? So I looking at the developments here. So I'm saying that roughly 16 is that age where sex been a major topic. We got a new book coming out called Warning. It's a sex education book, self help book for America's teenagers facing the STD epidemic. So we got a package project coming out for that. Um, which is this particular program we're doing today is actually going to kind of lead us into that reality, right? This family development reality. And we're going to deal with business, the family economy, the family's agenda, the family's character, right? The family's mission, the infrastructure, the LLC for the not just the LLC, the trust for the family, the understanding how to use different legal structures for the family to provide greater security, insurance, increased income, credit, the the sustainability component for the family, especially in these kind of times. So it's a relevant conversation, and to try to combat some of this anti-family material. Um, but one thing led to another. I'm in my dad mode at all times, um, and I'm building with my son. I'm saying, hey, just he knows me. I'm not going to interrupt your flow until it's time for me to interrupt your flow. I need for you to flow so I can understand how to improve your flow, how to enhance your flow. So I need to understand how you're flowing, and I can't do that if I don't allow you just to flow. So allow them just to flow. Just go do what you do. Let me see what you do. Let me see how you handle your business. And then I do an assessment from there. And I assessed and said, well, wait a minute. And Friday came and went. Saturday came and went. Shit, Sunday came and went. And what was going on Sunday that you weren't able to get to that live? I'm sitting right here. I'm working, right? I'm available, but I'm not available. I'm available for a bag. So if you talk about putting some work in and we talking about the bag, I know I'm available for a bag for sure. I'm available for that for sure. For sure. That makes sense to me. And no matter what I'm doing, when Lil Prince, Kamari, um, Lil Siraj, Mary, my wife, anybody, Amira, yeah, even though she just learned how, but Amira, Naila, any one of these children, any one of the members of the House of Mount Zeal can call me and get my attention about a bag at any time, about the emotions, about a bag, about things that got something to do with essential. I'm an essential worker, so I'm listening to you. But you come here and you talking opposite of that. Now you on my leisure time, right? Now it's like, okay, I hear you, but I'm working. When you come here talking about a bag, that overrides what I'm doing because my first obligation is to the family, right? Even though what I'm working on is for them, but it's about them, right? It's about them as individuals, about them and their minds, their understanding, their goals, their dreams, their ambitions. You know what I'm saying? Like it's about them, and I want them to know that. Like I want them to make sure they know it before I leave this place. My father, put us first, right? My dad put us first. He did that. He took care of us. He built us up with his own hands. He fell on his own sword. He took the sword out and started to heal himself from the inside and stitched himself back up and went back out there to war. My dad was unstoppable, indestructible, right? This guy was on a mission. You know what I mean? So my career was development of my family. So in the event, that's my real insurance policy. So it's like any event I gotta leave, which I gotta leave here. We all gotta leave here. I mean, that watch is tick, that time is ticking, right? We all gotta leave here, and we know that. And so, being the first multi-billionaire of my family, you know, it's bigger just than leaving them, an estate. The estate is the consciousness of a lion man. That's the estate. That's the consciousness. That's what I'm passing down ultimately. Right character, right everything. So you know what to do and how to move with your wealth. You know how to think and be and it's like your father was a philanthropist, right? And so I've done all these things so they can see it in real time. Like irregardless of the personal struggles, everybody has a struggle. Everybody has a story too that's associated or generated from the struggle. So it's an amazing time to be in alignment with that level of consciousness. And so we do this kind of work. We want to leave our footprints, not want, excuse me, we leave our footprints clearly cut so that our children can know which way that we went. They ain't running around here following all these other people. So family development is like I'm all over that. That's what I'm all about, family development. Because most of the material I've been watching is anti-family material. It's anti-family material. They spewing um, division and everything else. And so we gotta do our part and propagate right knowledge, family development, uh, helping families build their economy, helping families heal from the traumas, right? That mental health healing component got to take place. Um, because the money doesn't matter if the mind is not at its best, if it's not in its best capacity. um, the money is it makes no sense. Like, what are you gonna do with that other than hurt yourself and hurt other people and be back in the same capacity that you was trying to get away from? So, without further ado, um, I'm gonna tap into some energy, some light energy, and this is coming from the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Circle 7, divinely prepared by the noble prophet Jawad Lee, by the guidance of his father God, Allah, the great God of the universe, to redeem man from a sinful and fallen stage of humanity back to the highest plane of life. We go into the genealogy. These are the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet. I want to give honors to Sultan Abdul Aziz Abdin Saud, the descendant of Hagar, the head of the holy city of Mecca. Know thyself and thy father God Allah, the genealogy of Jesus for 18 years of the events, life, works, and teachings of India, Europe, and Africa. These events occurred before he was 30 years of age. These secret lessons are for all those who love Jesus and desire to know about his life, works, and teachings. Dear readers, do not falsely use these lessons. They are for good, peace, and happiness for all those that love Jesus. Dear mothers, teach these lessons to your little ones that they may learn to love instead of hate. Dear fathers, with these lessons you can set your house in order and your children will learn to love instead of to hate. The lessons of this pamphlet are not for sale, but for the sake of humanity, as I am a prophet, you can receive this pamphlet at expense. The reason these lessons have not been known is because the monsters of India, Egypt, and Palestine held had these secrets and kept them back from the outside world. And when the time appointed by Allah, they loosened the keys and freed the secrets. And for the first time in ages, have these secrets been delivered in the hands of the Muslims of America. All authority of rights of publishing of this pamphlet in 1927 by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Um, so we go right into our family development. And that was our disclaimer. But moving right along. So we go right into the family development material. So, and this one is titled Obedience of Children Towards Their Father. Okay. Well, actually, yeah, I'll stay focused right there. And so it says, from the secrets of Allah, let man learn wisdom and apply to himself the instructions that I give. Go to the desert, my son, absorb the young stork of the wilderness. Let him speak to thy heart and supply of him with food. The, the pity of a child The pity of a child is sweeter than the incense of Persia offering to the sun. Ye, more delicious than odors wafted from a field of Arabian spices of the western gales. Be grateful to thy father, for he gave thee life, and to thy mother, right? And to thy mother, for she sustained thee. Hear the words of his mouth, for they are spoken for thy good ear, to his admonition, for it proceedeth from love. Okay. He hath watched for thy welfare, he hath toiled, right, for thy ease. Do honor therefore his age, and let not his gray hairs be treated with reverence. Forget not thy helpless infancy, nor the forwardness of thy youth, and indulge the infirmities of thy aged parents. Assist and support them in the decline of life. So shall their hoary heads go down to the grave in peace, and thy own children, in reverence of thy example, shall repay the piety, the pity, with filial love. So the obedience, that was the obedience of children towards their father. That's the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet, the will of Allah. And page 35, chapter 24. Okay. So what are your thoughts from that? From the secrets of Allah, let man learn wisdom and apply to himself the instructions they give. And so I think the part where he kicks I say, be grateful to thy father, for he gave thee life. For he gave thee life, and to thy mother, for she sustained thee. Hear the words of his mouth, for they are spoken for thy good. Give ear to his admissions, for it proceedeth from love. He hath watched for thy welfare. He hath toiled for thy ease. Do honor, therefore, to his age, and let not his gray hair be treated with irreverence. Forget not thy helpless infancy, nor the forwardness of thy youth, and indulge the infirmities of thy aged parents. Assist and support them in the decline of life. Be grateful. Listen to your father's words. Father also has a spiritual meaning, which means the process of life. And that's my job is to teach you that process, bro. Or not just son, but and daughter. So to our youth out here, we got to be, to our children. Let me speak directly to our children. That's for you all. That's for you because we love you, and when we speak directly to you, whether it's frustration, whether it's whatever, excitement, whatever the emotion, it could be a better emotion when we're conveying these things to you. However, always remember, you know, like the Holy Book just taught us. Don't forget about your infancy. Don't forget about them times where you couldn't look out for yourself. Every word that come out my mouth is for your good, right? And we just have to do us as parents got to do a better job, and we got to remember that when it comes to our parents. That's important, right? It was a time that you couldn't help yourself, and it's going to come another time when you can't help yourself. We go through the state of infancy twice. So, my intensity this morning was on point. I was prepared mentally, was prepared physically to grab my son and snatch him up, not physically, but spiritually and mentally. Come here, uh-uh, and regain that control. Right? We can't let society have control of our children. We can't let have some institution and their obligations override the obligations of the home. The home is the single most powerful force in the universe. The home is. The home is the single most powerful force in the universe. Mother, father, family. And that's the secret. If the home is divided, if the home is even if the household is weakened economically, is weakened for these other attacks, if they're together, right, in that unity and love, nothing can defeat a family. Nothing can defeat that home. Mother, father, children, and then all those that's extensions of that, they together, the communications at an all-time high, it's gonna be tough to break that family. And I mean that. Me and my wife, we've been together for going on eight, going on 18 big ones. Not 18 months now. Eight, gotta get my coffee. 18 years. So you sorry about that. You gotta know. Hold on, bring the screen down. 18 years now. Okay. And it's been all kind of adversities. You're talking about some young people getting together, both been, went through that traumatic upbringing. We thought we knew something. Come discover we don't know nothing. And we got a child. I already had a child uh, from our first situation, first little love in my life. I like to say my first wife in a lot of respects. Good morning. And $1 million day. So motive be. Whew. So And we went through it. We grew up together. Basically, we together. Grew up together, bro. So we had to become real adults. And it's been an amazing ride. Think you got your dark days or your tough days, but man, it's worth it. It was worth it every bit of the way to see my children continue to progress. I can see their future. I can see their future. You know what I mean? I can see the future. Like, okay, this is why the work that we're doing is so essential. We're essential workers. We're essential workers. Parents, you matter. Families matter. That's 100%. And whatever the grind is you got to go through, the number one way to heal and to redeem when you done messed up as a member of a family is the truth and communication and that love from that truth. Because when you really love somebody and you mess up, you're gonna mess up. But you acting like you ain't gonna mess up, folks. Stop it. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna mess up. The messing up is not a physical thing. The messing up is a mental, spiritual thing. Some people didn't mess up because they went to go do something. No, you went to do that in your mind first. What did you do that for in your mind? What was you thinking about? What did I do to trigger that thought? You know what I'm saying? I know people want to think that things are the sin is in the act, but it's not. It's in the thought. You know what I'm saying? So see, that's the secret sin they don't want to reveal to you because they think you're not a mind reader. Think about if you can hear their thoughts when they're not speaking. Mm-hmm. Right. That's my point. Think about that. Think about it. Think, well, man, that's how you feel. Like you didn't know that because a person won't tell you how they feel. They will keep that part concealed, right? Unless they're triggered and it just comes out. Well, you know what, man? Ah, blah blah and blah 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 and bam. But you had to be triggered. Something had to happen for that to come up. But imagine if you could hear their thoughts, it can keep secret from you. I tell you the truth. The question is, who taught us to lie? That's the bigger question. Not why you didn't tell me, but who taught you to lie? What makes you think that the lie heals or helps? Because the lie happened in your mind when you thought that that was a great idea to act on without considering my feelings and without considering all of the other things that happens behind that thought, you acting on that thought. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's the thought. And a lot of people think it's the action. Then so once you think it's the action, then that's an illusion. And you never get to the truth of the matter, which is the thinking, the mind. It's a mental health issue. This person or his or her person, they're insecure. Why are they insecure? Because of those traumas, those that pain, that suffrage that somebody else took them through, that they hid from you because they liked you and fell in love with you. And I didn't want to let you know this part because you might not like this. You didn't like this. You didn't fall in love with this part. You didn't like this part. You didn't meet this part. That comes later after everybody's kind of comfortable. Oh yeah, I've been shot 18 times. Whoa, what the hell? Why you didn't tell me this in the introduction? We got married and everything. It's not funny. It's not funny. I'm just trying to have a sense of humor because it helps us from not having to cry all the time, right? So I just wanted to come out today for a hot second, and kind of just speak from the heart on this morning's show. Focus on a little bit of family development and just speaking from the heart. We'll continue up providing material that continues to excuse me, but that guide us into the direction of you know redeeming and rebuilding the infrastructure of our families and households. And that infrastructure has to be holistic, right? You got your mental health and physical health components, that spiritual component. You have the business component, the economy, the agenda, right? Which is fueled by the dreams of the members of the family. Okay, what's everybody's dream? What's everybody's goal? What are you inspired to be, right? Um, the activities, the vacations, the soft skills, the hard skills, the holistic approach into producing stronger, wealthier, more intelligent families. Period. So that's what today's episode was about. But again, subscribe at www.brotherl.com for more exclusive content. And also subscribe to our YouTube page at WIC TV on YouTube or at Wealth Intel TV. We have a opportunity to continue to build our network and providing um, focus material to help make our country great again. And it starts with families. It starts with the minds of those families. So we're going to continue to provide you entrepreneur material so you keep providing ways to build your business and going after resources that allow you to expand your business. And in that greatness or exponential rise of your business, you continue to facilitate financing into the family to grow the family. That's what it's about. You think I want to be a slave to um, these obligations that we create? No, but you're going to have to invest some kind of time, right? You got to invest some kind of time to generate the kind of finances so you can make those investments that allow you to be at the crib with your family or to be around the world with your family. My thing is, I'm a family person. I have a family, and I've been in the world. I've grew up with a mother. My mother, for example, quick story, and we done. So my biological father, did 31 years in prison. So he had us, or he took us, however you want to put it, for like the first 5 years of my life. I say us, me and my little brother. And so he went to prison. So now I go stay with my mom, right, in the city of Pontiac. From Alicante, we were from Detroit to California to Pontiac. And so with my mom and her step husband, I said her step husband, my stepfather, which would be her husband, um, we're both politicians. And she had a job. And moms ended up going to school too. I think we was a little bit older though. We're going back to school to get her bachelor's degree. Um, so on one hand, mom's like 15 years, 20 years in the game, politics, elected official, step pops, 36 years in the game, elected official. So you can imagine, and if you can't, do you need to? Imagine how busy they are. I mean, 7 days a week, they're swamped, right? With children. So that's why we was always in programs. And I love programs. I do. Because people got to work. And that's the point. That's my whole point. So we at the basketball games. I didn't see my mom or dad. Because I can't see my biological father. He's in prison. And my stepfather, I don't know if he was a sports guy or not. I still know to this day. But he wasn't there. And my mama wasn't there. So imagine growing up like that. And then we normalize that. That's not normal. Like, when do you normalize no parent engagement? That's not normal. But we ended up having to normalize it, right? And that's unfortunate for me and other people. Excuse me, one second. I'm glad we're doing this episode outside. But again, um, what was I saying? That's what I was saying. So imagine that having to normalize. Like, I haven't missed my son's game. Like, out of the 5,000 games, I probably missed this many. But it had to be some astronomical stuff They had no money, car. It had to be some. It had to be like some. You know what I mean? It had to be a major situation if I can't come type of situation. You feel me? I ain't missing nothing. No games, no no graduations, no homecomings, no your first time getting in trouble, your first time getting an award. I ain't missing none of that. Why? Because somebody missed all of my childhood. And I would have loved to have parents there, a loving family there. I didn't have a loving family. I wasn't privy to having a loving family, not in the sense that I think was a loving family. That didn't mean people didn't love on me, but or that didn't mean people didn't love me. Like we didn't have normal grandmas, and we just didn't have access to people. We already had a divided family between mom and dad, and so this side was this side, and we didn't get to mingle with this side until we were adults. So then you got all these family crimes and scandals which divided the family and all the secrets that's kept back from the children, and we not understanding why we're not hanging out with cousins and everybody else, no family reunions and situations like that. So much pain and trauma that's been passed down from generation to generation has caused, people like me to say, F that. We're gonna break these curses. I'm not missing my children's life. I'm not missing their upbringing. I'm gonna have both hands on their development, right? On every part. And I thank Allah. I give gratitude to the universe because I have achieved my ultimate goal. My number one dream, my number one goal was to be a father on the planet, healthy, intelligent, rich, wealthy, and able to provide every single services that my children need, bro. Let's toast to that one. 'Cause that's a fact. You understand me? That's a fact. It wasn't working for a 500 company. It was developing my own 500 company. You understand me? It wasn't about going and get it back to go get some girls. No, it was about going to get it back to take care of my family. And that's what I tell my son. Like, if you focused on the sisters before you focus on your bag, and you totally got me mixed up. You need to look for you a job, a real one. You need to get you a trade now. You need to be a plumber now. You need to start generating income now. Because you ain't finna eat off me to go get unfocused. That's stealing my money. I'm investing millions. And I'm not only excited to invest millions, I'm looking for creative ways to invest even more money now that I know exactly what I'm doing with you and with us. It has always been my intent to to invest in my children as much as I can and even more. Is you crazy? Why would I go invest? Man, it's people in Pontiac walking around with thousands of dollars in my pocket, in their pocket, of my money for years. So you got to know if I'm willing to allow that and invest in the other people when I didn't really, you know what I mean, know I was doing that. Why wouldn't I invest in my own children? Why wouldn't I invest millions into my own children? Right? I don't care what they're talking about. I didn't fought the system, the child support. I, brother L, we're going to do this to you. You don't take us serious. How would I take you serious and you taking money or attempting to take money from out of my pocket that I'm using to feed my children that I'm raising? Not another motherfucker. Excuse my language. Not another person raising. I'm sorry about that. It touches me a little bit, man. This is where I've been traumatized at right here. Right? This is my traumas that I'm sharing. You gonna tell me to pay you to take care of my son? For I'm gonna pay you because I'm taking care of my son? What are you talking about, bro? Like I'm the first one of the first people in my era to break all those curses. I don't respect no friend of the court. Who you scared? It's not even a courtroom. That's some stuff you do to kids that don't know no better. We know civics. What are you talking about? We know who we are. We know this thing, all of this stuff come from us. It's ours. Y'all stole it all. Not just the damn land, the whole identity. The whole culture. Colonization was a heck of an impact and effect on us. Still right now. If they in that mental trauma, they ain't trying to figure out who they are. They don't know. Yesterday they was Negroes, today they black, tomorrow they Afro Americans, the next week they indigenous, next week they still with no nation. They still have no nationality, no mother and father. What that mean? These children has been abandoned. And that's how they got to be state property. That's why they got tagged with paperwork like you do a dog. You put paperwork on a dog. You put paperwork on a gun. You put paperwork on a human being? What are you talking about? Yeah, fill out this application for a birth certificate. Application meaning request. I gotta go and request citizenship. What are you talking about? The mere fact that I'm born here is I'm granted citizenship. What's going on here, man? How did I go from a natural right to a privilege? So I gotta be licensed. See, it's a lot of that's anti-family material. Because now we want to um, identify the father and treat the father as if he's not a part of the scenario. And then you want to put your cultural laws or cultural customs. If I say, well, if y'all not married during the time of birth, then the child is considered what? You got a child out of wedlock. That means you got a bastard child. That's what it means. And since you had a child out of wedlock in violation of Christian law, Holy Bible, that's where it stemmed from. Christian black code, stuff like that, right? That's what it stemmed from. It's like, oh well, now the father he ain't got no rights, and the mother don't either. The child's a ward of the state, so here comes child support. That's how I go. And it already messed you up. So 85% of the brothers staying with her, she getting government assistance. He ain't even supposed to be staying there, so she can't tell them that. But if she could tell them that, then that would just eradicate the whole child support because they all stand in one house. But knowledge is can eradicate it all because I didn't know that I wasn't the non-custodial party. I didn't know that. I didn't know that I waived my right to custody control, which I have a 50% beneficial interest in, because it's my seed that was planted in her garden that produced my offspring, her son or her child. I'm just a little bit confused on what educational system that you and I went through that allows somebody to impose their will on my private business without a Fourth Amendment warrant. I didn't know that my rights could be seized without a Fourth Amendment warrant. In fact, I didn't even know that a Fourth Amendment protects my rights from being seized or arrested because they can arrest your rights. Like, wait a minute, I didn't know. I didn't get due process. I didn't even get notice. They didn't show me anything. So now that you know, the school teachers was all a setup. These are all agents, every last one of them. Stuff you might not never want to hear. So you be homeschooling? Absolutely. Are you in position to do that? I don't know. Are you? But that little pupil allocation that they're receiving, why are we not talking about collectively? Need to redirect that to the homeschool parents. Empower yourself. Educate yourself. You got all of the tools and technology right now to do everything that you said somebody else was supposed to do for you and yours. You got AI right now. You got a teacher right now. You got a teacher assistant right now in AI. And if you haven't, in fact, we're getting ready to launch a podcast, a video, and a book and more material with templates and everything else about how to integrate with AI and use it to not only like to improve your situation, but by like fixing like one of the things that's facing parents was credit, the lack of knowledge, the ignorance of finance, right? Financial literacy is at an all-time low in Michigan. cities like Pontiac, etc. And that ain't no shot at nobody like they don't know about money. Clearly, everybody know about money. They run around here with thousands of dollars on their face, on their backs, on their feet. They know about money. That they know how to leverage money. They might know a little something about leveraging. They probably leverage every day, just not at a bigger scale. And and so credit was a major issue and still is a major issue. Even though I think on average amongst the Asiatic community, what they call African Americans, it's like the average credit score is like six. I want to say like a 680. It's like 680. The average credit score, bro. America's average credit score is like a 715. So on a surface level, it looks like, but there's still like 16% of the Asiatic community, like 16% is still like struggling with poor credit. That 16% is still too high. Still too high. We should get that 16% down to like 7. We should cut that in half by the end of the fiscal year. This America. What are we sitting around here playing and not empowering each and every part with the truth of finance, how you handle that business? Well, today, what are you waiting on? You got AI. You got AI. You improve your personal credit. You can improve the family's credit. You can improve the the family businesses credit. And I believe 85 to 90% of the issues inside the household is finance. Listen, when you don't have a financial issues, you got that financial freedom you've been looking for. You got time to. You got not only time, but you got finances to heal, right? To discover more about yourself because you're not having to go to work and worried about the bill's going to be foreclosed on. We're going to lose our car. We're going to lose our mortgage. You ain't worried about that. You ain't not worried about your health because you're working out. You're taking care of your health. You're sticking to your healthy routine. You're eating healthier. You can think healthier. You can act healthier. You can be healthier, right? So you knocked off a lot just off of the financial thing. You took care of the financial thing, the credit got fit with AI, boom, and now you're not in that. Oh, you know how it is when you ain't got no money, man, and the bills is due, and then you still got wants and needs. I mean, you still got wants and ambitions, and you got those urges. You can't get on. You can't. Come on, man. You know what time it is. You don't like nobody you can see. You don't like nobody. You get the children, your girl. You don't want to talk to. Stop it. Same thing with the sisters. What you doing in here? What you want? You ain't got no money. Shit, I need to take care of business. I got stuff going. I got the shit. What you want? Now you looking like, oh man, what's hey, it's on the floor. 85%, right, of the issues inside of the household is financial. I just seen a report that says 70% of women in today's time have a backup guy. It's a financial thing. It's like having another bank account set up to the side. Think about it. I'm not upset. It's not something to be upset. I'm looking at the financial capacity of the country and then the trickle down impact and effect. In other words, a scarcity. People make some terrible decisions under scarcity mode. So, gotta take a look at that, right? Gotta take a look at that. So, um, we here, man. We here. And I got you, and I'm getting ready to close out. My final thoughts on things is this: my mission is all about to rebuild stronger families, to rebuild stronger families. My vision is, and I can say belief on this one. My belief is this: I've seen the connectivity between the country issues and the individual units, the family units. And I seen the connectivity between the two. You have a weak country or a country in decline because you have families in decline. We focus on families, and family economies, converting these people into entrepreneurs if they're not already entrepreneurs. We got to be able to sell this package because it's important. You got a job, that's great, but you need to do the math. And in that math, we can see that there's room for improvement. We need additional incomes in this world we live in today. We got $1 trillion deficit, right? They're gonna be on your butt. They're gonna be stealing your work checks left and right. It's gonna cost us. So we gotta get out here and put together sustainability projects, sustainable energy. I ain't talking about the climate control and the Green New Deal. I'm talking about that money keep rolling around in sustainable energy. And then we got to invest into real assets, assets that's generating revenue, revenue generating assets. So that takes the pressure off of us and our physical energy that we have to put in, and we can let the physical energy generate on its own through the investments or the purchases or the purchase of generating revenue generating assets. Okay, do your research and then looking at other investments. Okay, so now we develop or in the right mentality to start developing the consciousness of of a diverse portfolio, a portfolio that's profitable and sustainable. So that means you're going to have to use this in conjunction with technology, AI, to give yourself a real assessment. Put yourself and your family into a real assessment process so you can know. You got to know. I told you the best way to heal in any situation is to deal with the truth first. Get rid of the lies because somebody had to teach us how to lie. That's a learned behavior. So this is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for all of us to enhance and advance ourselves. So we continue to make the most significant investment, which is our time into our family. The more time that we have on this planet to share with our family because we took care of our health, our mental, spiritual health, our physical health, and our financial health. Now we're able to really build with the family, be with the family, just being with the family, and then sharing what you know, your wisdom with the family. That's the curse breaker. That's a curse breaker. They want us to be out here, uh, she ain't nothing, he ain't nothing, airing it out on Facebook. We don't do that over here. We're gonna build between us. We're gonna we're gonna rise and fall and rise again. But we're gonna do it together. We're gonna do it together. What does that show the world? Ain't nothing you can do to tear this family apart. Hey, hey, and now you're valuable because you're reliable. You understand me? We can trust in this. We can trust in that certainty. They're gonna fight through it all. Now that's commitment. All right. So let me get you guys to make one more commitment with me. Can you do that? Right now, go over to www.brotherl.com and get our new book, My Adorable Adora Lullabies, collection of 100 lullabies inspired by love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And it's the promotion again, healthy families. Betty got to take naps, right? So instead of having some lullaby, you don't have any connection to it, you know for sure that this bringing in the right principles, the right customs, the right the right knowledge to infuse into the children's spirit, into their DNA. So let them go into them dreams of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. You can get it right now. It's on sale for $19.99. It's a collection of 100 lullabies inspired by love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice at www.brotherl.com. My adorable Adora Lullabies is available right now. Thank y'all for joining us. Peace and blessings.